Hello guys, welcome to Learn with Madhu. So after so many days I am back again to make videos successfully after completing my 10th class board exams. So I have thought to do videos on 10th class syllabus. So from today onwards every day I will post a video on each and every subject. So today I selected English and the first chapter of English, A Letter to God, which is written by G.L. Fions. So I have came with this lesson to explain for you. So don't make any late. Let's get into the lesson. So this is the lesson about a farmer who have very faith in the God, and in this lesson it shows how much he has faith and every much. So let's go to the lesson and know more about what did the farmer did and what type of faith he have shown towards the God. So we will learn the lesson quickly and we can understand each and everything. Before that, make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And at a time of this lesson, I will upload another video of Telugu version. Make sure to see that one also as convenient. Which one did you understand? That one you can see happily and do a help, like, share and subscribe. That's all for you guys. So okay, don't make any late. Let's get into the lesson. So first I would like to say something. So let's see here. There is a topic also. Before you read, let's see. They have faith can move mountains, but what we put our faith in? This is the question the story delicately poses. So let's see again that one. The sentence. They say faith can move mountains, but what should we put our faith in? So first one which we see the sentence, they say faith can move mountains. So in this we can understand that everyone says that faith, we have a lot much of faith in God or in any goddess. So we can say that, oh my God, I have so much of faith in that God and I can do anything for them. Like yeah, we can say something like that of type of words. But what should we put our faith in? How can we show our faith? And like how? So this is the question in this story delicately poses. So let's see about what it is. Lencho is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, asking for 100 pesos. As I said you before, in this lesson, it says all about a farmer and the farmer name is Lencho. So Lencho is a farmer and he writes a letter for the God as his crops get ruined due to a hailstorm. It will come in the lesson, I will tell you. So he asks for 100 pesos. So as it is, he asks 100 pesos for the God. So as I think you will think this, what is this pesos? Pesos are that a Latin American money. So if we say rupees, right? So in their countries, in Latin American countries, it is called pesos. So Lencho asks for the God 100 pesos and he will write a letter for the God. Next, see. Think what your answers. Does Lencho letter reach God? Does God send him the money? We will see in the lesson. Think what your answers to these questions would be and guess how the story continues before you begin to read it. Without any late, go into the comment section and do the comment for these two questions, and that is that does Lencho letter reach God? It's the first question. And does God send him the money? Of course, we will see it in the lesson. Don't make late. Let's get into the lesson. So this is the activity. So you can do it by your own by seeing these all regulations. So this is all activity. Now come on, let's get into the lesson. Yes. As you see guys, the house. Whose house? is a Lencho house. Okay, the house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. Sat on the crest. So you can ask here, what is crest? Crest is that which is top of a hill. Like if you have a hill like a V shape, just think about a hill and imagine about a hill. So you can think a hill, then crest means at most a top of the hill. So like who are they telling about this all? It's about Lencho's house, and Lencho's house is set on a crest of a low hill. It's not a high one, just think it's a little much, right? From this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flower that always promised a good harvest. So from the height of that crest of a low hill, we can see a beautiful river, ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. As we can see, as they mention here, ripe corn dotted. Ripe corn dotted is the Lencho's crop fields, right? Like corn fields are the Lencho's fields, and he make harvest for the corns. So, and Lencho's sadness and Lencho's worry is all about these cornfields, and the lesson goes through these cornfields in the next ways, in the next passages. The only thing on the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. So, as we see, the Lencho is hoping for a downpour. Downpour means heavy and continuous rainfall. So, we can understand by with this line that Lencho is seeking for a downpour for the cornfields to get a better harvest. So, next, or at least a shower. At least a shower means like a normal rain, not like a rain. Like Lencho want a downpour or rain for the better harvest of his cornfields. Next, throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Like throughout the morning, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but seeing the sky towards the northeast. He know that his field are not getting any corns, and there are no downpour or shower or any rain, nothing. Just the fields have been seen to the northeast, facing towards the sky. And also Lencho is also hoping for the rain and standing in front of that cornfields and seeing towards the sky and hoping for a better rainfall, downpour or shower, anything. Then next, now we are really going to get some water woman who are saying this word. Of course, Lencho is saying these words to his wife. At last you can see that woman. He indicates woman. Here woman means his wife. Right? Now we are really going to get some water woman. Like what water? Are drinking water? No, nothing. It's not drinking water. He is describing about rainfall. So he is hoping to get a rainfall, and he is exclaiming with his woman or wife, like now we are really going to get some water woman. Like they are thinking that now it's time for getting a rainfall. Next, the woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." The woman, like the wife of the Lencho, is preparing supper. Supper means a evening meal or dinner. Like his wife is preparing a evening meal and replied to the Lencho, "Yes, God willing." In this we can understand that she also replied simply yes, that God willing to give some rainfall for them. Next, the older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called them all. come for dinner. It was during meal that just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. Right? So here the older boys were working, like the children of Lencho are working in the field and the smaller one is playing at the house. They didn't mention how many children did they have, but they said that older ones are working in the field and the smaller one is playing near the house. Until the woman called them all, like she's preparing supper, right, a meal. So she called them all for the dinner. It was during the meal that just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. So as in the lesson, as Lencho had thought that he wanted downpour and shower, he exclaimed a lot. So as he thought, Lencho, as he predicted, a big drops of rain began to fall. Let's see the next one. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. In the northeast direction, a huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. Like the clouds are looking like a huge mountains in a big way are seen approaching near them. The air was fresh and sweet. As Lencho is describing this all and telling that the air was so fresh and sweet, the man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body, and when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces, and the little ones are 5." As we see here in the passage, yes, the huge mountains are approaching near them, and suddenly Lencho went outside to see whether how is the rain is falling. So Lencho suddenly went to the outside for no other reason than to have or feel the rhythm of the rain. So he just out and feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5." Here we can understand that the Lencho came out and he felt the rain, but suddenly the rain is not coming slowly. They are like big drops. So he exclaimed with his woman and saying that these aren't raindrops falling from the sky. These are the new coins, which are big ones are 10-cent pieces and the small ones are 5s. So here we can understand that it is not a normal rain. It is a hailstorm. Hailstorm is that which comes like a frozen perils and stones which looks like a big drops and falls on the sky, right? So he exclaimed that these aren't raindrops, these are the big drops falling from the sky. So he compared them with the 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5s, right? Next passage. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers wrapped in a curtain of rain. Here there is a meaning for the wrapped. Wrapped means covered, like to cover with a cloth. So everyone says that we are draping a sari. So draping means to cover, right? Wrapped. So with a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers wrapped in a curtain of rain. So he is exclaiming that the ripe corn fields are getting covered with the rain. But it's not a rain. How can a rain covered with the ripe corns and field? But yeah, it's not a rain. It's a hailstorm. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rainy, very large hailstones began to fall. So, large and very large hailstones are began to fall. So, as we see, a suddenly strong wind, which is like a cyclone, like think a strong wind coming towards his fields and towards them, and along with the strong wind and its rain is very large hailstones began to fall. So, as we see, with the strong wind began to blow and along the rain, very large hailstone began to fall. So, here, along with the rain, a large hailstones. Hailstones means here, as I said before, they are the looks like rocks falling from the sky. Like they won't fall every time, but at like sometimes they get fall from the sky. So the next, as we see here, these truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pelts. So as we see here, how can the boys go and collect the frozen pelts? Did you really understand this one? So these hailstones are like new silver coins. So suddenly the boys went outside, exposing themselves to the rain, and they get to collect the frozen pearls. Here, frozen pearls are that in which hailstones, like small frozen balls of ice. Frozen pearls are that are hailstones, and they look like frozen balls of ice. Did you understand? Like a normal rock. The next. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. Who exclaimed? Lencho. Lencho exclaimed that it's getting bad now. I hope it passes quickly. Who said this word? Lencho said this word. What did he thought to pass quickly? He thought, and sorry, what did he hope to pass quickly? He hoped to pass quickly the hailstorm. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. Like smallly, like the hailstorm is just getting bad, and it's going to fall each and every place, like on their house, the hillside, and their cornfield, garden, and the whole valley, which they are living in a top of a hill, and that whole place is got covered with hailstones. Here, the field was white as if covered with salt. The field was white as if it is covered with the salt. So as it is, the hailstones look like a frozen ice ball, so they look so white, and it's looking like to cover with a salt. Next, not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Right? Not a leaf remained. No, not a leaf, not a fruit, anything remained. The corn was totally destroyed. His cornfields are totally destroyed. The next, the flowers were gone from the plants. Like his all garden and cornfields just totally get destroyed. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. So here you can think, what is locusts? Here is the meaning they given. Locusts are the thing, insects. Locusts are insects which fly in big groups and destroy the crops. So locusts are the insects which fly in the big groups and destroy the crops. So Lencho is exclaiming that and standing in front of the, you can see here a picture. After the hail passed away, he stand in front of the crop field and saying to his sons that a plague of locusts would left more than this, like, which means the hailstorm really destroyed each and everything of the cornfield, garden, hillside, valley, and each and everything. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was sorrowful one, all our work for nothing. There is no one who help us. We'll go hungry this year. Who are saying these words? Of course, Lencho is saying these words to his son and wife. So, as he is so sad and telling to his family members that all our work for nothing, so he don't have any work to do because his cornfields get destroyed, and there is no one who can help us. We will go hungry this year. So here it is that the Lencho is very sad about his cornfield and it's just totally get destroyed and no one would help them. So here few questions are there about the few above passages. So answer these questions in the comment. What did Lencho hope for? As I said before, why did Lencho say the raindrops will look like new coins? Is up about the passage and I have explained you. How did the rain change? What happened to Lencho fields? That's what we have discussed now. What were Lencho's feeling when the hail stopped? So without any late, go into the comment box and answer these oral comprehensive check questions. Going into the next passage. But in the hearts of all who lived in the solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from the God. So here they are thinking that, but in the hearts of who lived, solitary means here alone. Solitary meaning is alone. The who is alone house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope who can help these alone members, of course God. So he is thinking that for us, for the solitary persons, there is only one and all and who can help us, and that is God. Don't be so upset even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. Who are saying these words? Of course, Lencho. So Lencho is exclaiming that it's not a big deal to get upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember, no one dies for hunger. Of course, if this get destroyed, we can have another work to do. So no one dies for hunger. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. Although the night Lencho thought only of his hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. So, all through the line, Lencho was thinking of that hailstorm and thinking to seek a help from God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, to see everything, even what in deep conscience. So here conscience meaning is conscience meanings an inner sense of right and wrong. Who knows about one person about their inner sense is right and wrong? Of course God. So he is thinking about the God and instructing himself that the God is only the conscience who can think who is right and wrong. Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in the field, but still he knew how to write. So here, Lencho was an ox of a man. This is a sentence come like for comparison. So here they are comparing Lencho with an ox and thinking Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in the fields. Throughout the year in his life, he is just working like an ox in his cornfields, but still he knew how to write. Means he is literate, not illiterate. So he know how to write. Next, the following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which himself would carry down and place in the mail. It was nothing than a letter to the God. So here, as we can see that the following Sunday, like the next day after the sunrise, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. So we don't know what did he write. Let's see in the next passage. So he written a letter to the God, and he went to the town and just mailed the letter into the post box, and the letter is for the God. So let's see what is about the letter, what did he written for God, and what is he asking. So let's see. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again to live until the crops come because of the hailstorm. So here he's telling that he written the letter like God. He wrote, God, if you don't help me, my family would go hungry all this year, and he need 100 pesos to sow his field again. So he's asking God for money. So he's seeking money from the God and asking for 100 pesos, which is very high amount. So he is asking 100 pesos to sow his field again to live, and all this is because of what? Hailstorm. So next, he wrote to God the envelope, put the letter inside, and still double went to town at the post office. He placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it in the mailbox. So he wrote a letter to the God and on the envelope and put the letter inside the mailbox, and he just take a stamp and dropped it in the mailbox. Then next, as I said before, peso, currency of several Latin American countries. Right, pesos is an American countries. One of the employees who was a postman and also helped the post office went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. So of course, if anyone would see such type of letters, everyone would be in confusion. So that's what he did, the postman. So the postman see the mailbox. In the mailbox he see a letter for the God, which is so confused. So he laughed heartily and went to the postmaster or his boss for showing him the letter to the God and telling that never in his career as a postman had he known that address. Right? So he is telling that never ever in his life as a postman didn't see such type of address for a letter to the God. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. But almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk, concerned what faith, I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. So here, as I said before, postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow. Amiable means friendly and pleasant. Friendly and pleasant. Amiable postmaster is sitting in the chair and thinking that Also, he also broke off laughing of thinking that letter to the god. But almost immediately he turned serious. Why did he turn serious? Let's see. Tapping the letter on his desk, commented, "What faith! I wish I had this faith on the man who wrote this letter." At first, the postman and postmaster both laughed heartily and thinking in never in their career seen such type of letter for the god. But suddenly the postmaster becomes so serious and think that what faith? Like he's just exclaiming and just like telling about the Lencho and thinking about the person who wrote the letter and thinking that how much faith does they have in the god, because we know, as I said in the starting, the farmer who has a lot of faith in god, the Lencho. So that's what the postmaster is also saying about the faith of the letter who written this letter. So he doesn't know that Lencho have written the letter. So that's why he is telling the man, right? The next, starting up a correspondence with God. Like they're thinking of God and telling about God. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with idea. Answer the letter. So the postmaster thought like that we should not make the writer of this letter feel very sad or sorrow. So the postmaster thought to answer the letter. The postmaster thought to answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. So, of course, for anyone who have to answer, first and foremost, they need a paper to write, right? So, the postmaster suddenly taken a paper and ink and started to write to see what is there in the letter. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself waived part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. So, postmaster opened the letter and he read, and of course, in the above passages, it is there that the Lencho written to the god for seeking 100 pesos to sow the field again. So, the postmaster took the pen and ink to answer the letter, and after seeing it, he needed the money of 100 pesos. He suddenly thought of faith of God in the writer. So he himself gave a part of salary of his, and next he asked several employees in his office and also asked his friends as a part of charity. So, for collecting 100 pesos and thinking of faith of God for Lencho, the postmaster tried to answer the letter and also collected money. It was impossible for him to gather the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, with it a letter containing only single word as a signature, God. So as it is, but it became for the postmaster a very difficult to collect 100 pesos, a total amount. So he collected more than a half, which means more than 50 pesos he collected a certain amount. It will come in the next passage. We will see how much did he collect and post it in the name of Lencho. So as it is, he collected more than 50 and put it in the envelope, and he posted to the Lencho and just written a signature with only a single word called God. So next Here a part completed. Then next here some are oral comprehension check questions. Who or what did Lencho have faith in? What did he do? So who has Lencho has faith in? Lencho has faith in whom? You know that answer. Who read the letter? As in the above passage, what did the postmaster do then? Like, what did the postmaster after seeing the letter of Lencho? Answer the question in the comment box without any late. Then next, going to the next passage, I think the last one. Yes. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit early than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. So the following Sunday, Lencho came suddenly to the town, into the post office. So he came to the post office and asking a letter for him if there was any reply from the god. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So as we know, the postman and postmaster helped Lencho to collect money from their employees or friends and given a part of salary from them. So the postman, he himself given the letter to the Lencho, and the postmaster who collected the money sitting in his desk or office and watching from afar, like contentment, experiencing the contentment. Here contentment means satisfaction. Contentment means satisfaction. So from afar he is seeing that how does Lencho react and how does he think of the letter after seeing a letter from the god. So from far away the postmaster was seeing them. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence, but he became angry when he counted the money. So, as they are waiting to see the Lencho reaction, nevertheless, Lencho didn't show any reaction for the seeing letter. He knows that he has faith in God and he knows that God will reply for him as his confidence, but after counting the money, he was so angry. We know the reason, because there are no 100 pesos in the envelope. There are more than half of it, means more than 50 pesos, but not a total of amount. Next, God could not have made a mistake, nor could have denied Lencho what he had requested. So Lencho is thinking that God would never and ever made a mistake to send money, nor could he had denied Lencho what he had requested. So Lencho is thinking that God will never and ever deny my request what I have asked for 100 pesos, and nor he will not do any mistake. So next, immediately Lencho went up the window to ask for a paper and ink on the public writing table. He started to write with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had made to suppress his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. So here in these passages, immediately after seeing the less money, Lencho went to the public writing place and started to write again for the god. So at fastly he written and write something for the god in that envelope, and again he came to the postman and posted in the mailbox. Then after, the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. So the moment again Lencho went to the public post writing and started to write something again for the god. So with their Contentment. Again, postman and postmaster went to the mailbox for seeing what it had written inside the letter. Then next, after seeing it, it said, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest since I need very much. But don't send it me through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Written by Lencho. So here the Lencho written to the God that you have only sent me a 70 pesos. So here we can understand that how much did the postmaster collected and put it in the envelope. So he just collected only a 70 pesos and put it in the envelope. So here Lencho is thinking that send me the rest of since I need it very much. So he is asking for the God, send me the remaining 30 pesos as I need very much, but don't send it me through the mail because the post office employees are bunch of crooks. Here bunch of crooks means thief. We can indicate like a thief. So Lencho is exclaiming that post office employees are bunch of crooks, like a group of dishonest people who we should not think. So this is the thing. So Lencho made him angry for only giving 70 pesos, and he also need remaining 30 pesos. But at last he said the postman or postmaster, the employees, as a bunch of crooks, which is very a sad ending for the who helped the Lencho. And again, there are oral comprehension check questions. Was Lencho surprised to find a letter for him with money in it? Of course not. What made him angry? So there are totally 3 comprehension check questions. Answer below in the comment box. Let me know. So also thinking about the text, there are few question and answer. You can answer it on. So the total summary of this lesson is that Lencho, a farmer who destroyed, like a hailstorm which destroyed his cornfields and need so much of money for his deeds, like for his food and for his comforts. So he asked, and he has so much of faith in the God. So he went to the post office writing a letter for the God, asked for the 100 pesos, and the letter was seen by the postmaster, and they have answered the letter by giving only 70 pesos from their employees' friends and given a part of salary from them. But at last, Lencho opened the letter, but there are only 70 pesos. Lencho was very angry and he wanted the remaining 30 pesos and saying the God to not to send the money from the post as the employees are bunch of crooks. So we can end this lesson very successfully. So this is the lesson which is written by GL Fions. So guys, if you like this lesson, of course make sure to like the video, and again I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thank you. Bye bye.